Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are continuing with our series on Maths Paper 2 that was written in June 2025. So I uploaded the solutions from number 1 up to number 8. Today we are going to cover the number 9, which was a question on transformation. So I'm going to explain step by step how you take all the 12 marks on this question. So let us dive straight into the question. Answer the whole of this question on a sheet of graph paper using a scale of 2 centimeters to represent 1 unit on both axes. For x-axis, we are going to stretch from 0 to 7, and then in the y-axis, we are going to stretch from -4 to 4. So this is very important that you understand the scale provided. So if they are saying 2 centimeters to represent 1 unit, we are going to say in the x-axis 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 7. And then in the y-axis, we say -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And make sure that you label that this is the y-axis and then this is the x-axis. We now need to go to the question. On number 9a, it is reading a quadrilateral ABCD. Yes, the vertices at A 3, 2, B 4, 2, C 4, 3, and D 3, 4. We're supposed to draw and label clearly the quadrilateral ABCD. So if we are plotting the coordinate A, we are saying 3 in the x-axis is in line with 2 in the y-axis, and then we plot that point is what I've done. We move on to the next B. 4 is in line with 2. On C, 4 is in line with 3. And then finally on D, 3 in the x-axis is going to meet with 4 in the y-axis. And then after that, we label correctly that this is the point A, this is the coordinate B, this is the coordinate C, and then this is the coordinate D. By doing that, you get that quadrilateral into your first mark. And then now I need to explain part B. Draw the quadrilateral A1, B1, C1, D1, which is the image of the quadrilateral ABC. Answer a translation with a translation vector 3 - 5. So what it means, if we are given the translation vector 3 - 5, it means that we need to move our object 3 steps to the positive direction of the x-axis, and then we move it 5 steps downwards. So for us to get the coordinates, you need to understand this formula. Translation vector is equal to image minus object. So the object is the original one, and then the image is the transformed one. So here we need to find the coordinates of the transformed one. We are going to shift minus object to the other side so that it is going to be added. So we need to add 3 - 5 to each and every coordinate of the object. So if we add on A, 3 plus 3, 6, -5 plus 2, we get -3. So that is going to be our first coordinate, A1. We plot 6 in the x-axis and -3 in the y-axis. We plot that point. And then we are going to add the translation vector to be 3 plus 4, 7, -5 plus 2, we get -3. So we need to plot the point B1, which is 7 in the x-axis and -3 in the y-axis. And then we move on to C1. For us to get C1, we are going to say the translation vector plus C, 3 plus 4, 7, minus 5 plus 3, we get minus 2. So we plot 7 in the x-axis and then minus 3 in the y-axis. We plot that point. And then we move on to the final one, D1. D1, we add the translation vector to D. 3 plus 3, 6. And then minus 5 plus 4, we get minus 1. So it is going to have 6 in the x-axis and then minus 1 in the y-axis. After that, we join all the points to come up with the quadrilateral A1, B1, C1, D1. So that is how we work it out for us to get the 2 marks on part B. And then we proceed to part C. We need to draw the quadrilateral A2, B2, C2, D2, which is having these vertices at A2. At A2, we are having 1.5 and 1. So we need to plot that point. And then we plot 2, 1, 2 in the x-axis and 1 in the y-axis. We plot C2, 2 in the x-axis and then 1.5 in the y-axis. We plot D2, 1.5 in the x-axis and then 2 in the y-axis. And then after that, we join all the 4 points for us to come up with the quadrilateral A2, B2, C2, D2. And then on C part 2, we are required to describe fully the single transformation that maps quadrilateral ABCD onto A2, B2, C2, D2. So this type of transformation is known as enlargement. So when we are describing enlargement, you get your first mark by stating that enlargement is occurred, and then you need to provide the center of enlargement. So when we are finding the center of enlargement, we need to join the corresponding points. A2 is going to be joined with A, right? And then we can also join D1 and D2. Where these points are intersecting is going to be our center of enlargement. So they are intersecting at 0, 0, which implies that the center of enlargement is going to be the origin or the 0, 0. After giving the center of enlargement, we are also required to give the scale factor of enlargement. So here, the scale factor of enlargement is half. If we are finding the scale factor of enlargement, we need to say the distance of image from center of enlargement divided by the distance of object from the center of enlargement. So I want to demonstrate this point, how we are going to get our half. So we are saying the distance of D2 from the center of enlargement, we are having 5 centimeters. If you check on that ruler, so we write our 5, and then the distance of D from the center of enlargement, it is 10. Now if we say 5 divided by 10, we are going to get 1/2. So it implies that the scale factor of enlargement is half. So that is all about C part 2. We need to proceed to part D, where we are supposed to draw the image of quadrilateral ABCD under a 90 degrees clockwise rotation about the center 1, 1, and label it A3, B3, C3, D3. So this question is having 3 marks. So for you to get the 3 marks, there are certain procedures that are followed when the center of enlargement is not the origin, because there are certain matrices that are used. Those matrices, they can only be applied if the center of enlargement is 0, 0. So if the center of rotation, if the center of rotation is 1 1 instead of 0 0. This is the step that is followed. The first step is we need to subtract the center of rotation from the object. So we are going to subtract 1 1 from each and every coordinate of the object. So we get 2 1, 3 1, 3 2, and 2 3. After that, we can now use the matrix that is used when it is 90 degrees clockwise rotation. So the matrix that is used is 0 1 minus 1 0. So we are going to multiply each and every coordinate which we obtained in the first step. So 0 times 2, 0, 1 times 1, 1. 0 times 3, 0, 1 times 1, we get 1. 0 times 3, 0, 1 times 2, 2. 0 times 2, 0, 1 times 3, 3. We move on to the bottom. Minus 1 times 2, minus 2, 0 times 1, 0. Minus 1 times 3, minus 3, 0 times 1, 0. So we are going to get 1 minus 2, 1 minus 3, 2 minus 3, and 3 minus 2. And then the last step is we now need to add back the center of rotation to find the coordinates of the image. So we are going now to add the center of rotation, which we subtracted initially. So that if we say 1 plus 1, 2, 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 1, 4. We move on to the bottom. Minus 2 plus 1, minus 1, minus 3 plus 1, minus 2, minus 3 plus 1, minus 2, minus 2 plus 1, minus 1. We then plot these points on our graph. The first coordinate, which is a 3, it is going to be 2 in the x-axis and minus 1 in the y-axis, 2 in the x-axis and minus 2 in the y-axis. This is for B3. And then for C3, 3 in the x-axis in line with minus 2 in the y-axis. And then finally, 4 in the x-axis in line with minus 1 in the y-axis. That is how you get the 3 marks on part D. We are now having 10 out of 12. And finally, write down a matrix representing a stretch parallel to the x-axis with a stretch factor of 3. So if the stretch is parallel to the x-axis, it means that the y-axis is the invariant line. And when y-axis is the invariant line, the matrix that we use is 1 0 K1, where K is representing the scale factor. So we are going to replace the scale factor K by 3 so that our matrix is going to be 1 3 0 1. So that was all about the transformation that was in June 2025. We are done for our today's session. Thank you so much for following me on this channel. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share my videos. Besides the YouTube, I also have a WhatsApp channel where I post the quizzes from maths and science. So if you want to join, either you go to your WhatsApp and then you search maths and science with Eve Global Channel, or you can inbox me on 0776 824159 so that I can share the WhatsApp channel link. And also I have the WhatsApp classes which I run every day in the evening from Monday to Friday. The WhatsApp groups, they are not for free. I charge $10 per month per subject. So if you want to join the awesome revision, you can also contact me on that number. Thank you so much.